Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to another review. This is not going to be a female-driven movie review because this is a request that I got from last year, and I want to get it out of the way. It's the 1995 direct-to-video movie Kickboxer 5: The Redemption, which it should have just been called The Redemption because really there's no kickboxing in this movie except in the first like 5 minutes. So the title is kind of misleading, and it has nothing to do with the first four films. This one doesn't revolve around the Sloan family. It revolves around a guy named Matt Reeves. No, not the director of Cloverfield. A character named Matt Reeves, played by Mark Dacascos, who's the best thing in the movie. Let's face it, he is a spot-on leading man. And yeah, this basically it's a revenge story where his friend Johnny is a kickboxer. He has a fight and wins the belt, and then these guys want him to sign to do a kickboxing thing, which never happens at the end of the movie. There's no kickboxing at the end. It's just Matt Reeves, fighting the lead villain, Nagal or whatever his name is. And yeah, his friend gets killed. These guys beat him up, and then they break his back, and then he dies. So he has to go all the way to South Africa to avenge his friend's death. That's basically the synopsis. Now the film is decent, but I will say this: it's not that as violent as the first four films. It feels like a PG-13. I don't know what it is. It's very tame for a '90s action film because there's blood in it, but it's really not that violent. Like it's not like the Rambo films where people are blown to bits or someone gets their head cut off or you have someone in like in Expendables when someone gets blown in half. Yeah, it's nothing like that. Here it's just basically a lot of hand-to-hand combat and shootouts. But it's well done. I mean, the fight choreography with the Costco's is well done. The action scenes, at least there's no shaky cam, so you can see what's going on. The shots of South Africa are well done. It's beautifully shot. The director is a woman, Christine Peterson. She she also did she did Critters 3, Deadly Dreams, Body Chemistry, Lower Level, and Slaves to the Underground, which is her last film as a director. She also did second unit director for other films too, like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, Tremors. So she knows what she's doing. She knows how to keep a camera steady. And Dacascos is great as a lead. He's the best thing in the film. He does his flips and kicks, and he's got a lot of charisma. He's good in the film. The rest of the cast is hit and miss. I thought the guy that was his friend in the movie, the white guy, what was his name? Paul Croft, played by Jeff Mead. No, he's more of a stuntman than an actor, and it shows. He barely has any chemistry with the Costco's. James Ryan as the villain. He has a cool voice. He sounds like Claw from Black Panther, but he's just really flat. Like he's not really that intimidating. I mean, he beats up this German guy and kills him, and I'm like, yeah, but it's only because he was a former kickboxer, so it's not really. He's not. He looks like Kylo Ren, like if he was South African. You also have Paul's sister, who's barely in the movie. She doesn't leave an impression on me. The German fighter, like I said, the Gavin Hood, he was barely in the movie. He dies in the film way too easily. There's this black guy that's in prison with them that gets him out. That he serves a purpose. He has like 1 2 scenes. He's fine. I like seeing the black people over there in South Africa. It's like the real Wakanda. They're doing the dancing and beating the drums, and they're like Bombay and all that. Yeah, that's good. The film's not very long. It's only 87 minutes, so an hour and 20 some minutes. So it's not too long. It's like an hour shorter than Avengers Endgame. I mean, it's not on the level of that. That's on a different scale compared to a movie like this. This was direct to video in '95 that nobody remembers. I mean, it really just should have been called The Redemption because this doesn't take place after the fourth movie. It has nothing to do with it. It's standalone, and there's no kickboxing. It's only at the end. Well, it's only in the beginning of the film, and then the rest of the movie is just martial arts, no kickboxing. So it's kind of misleading, but it's still decent. I like it better than three, and it has a slight edge over four because four is not a kickboxing movie either because it's mostly just a lot of fighting, which is fine with me, but it shouldn't call it kickboxer if it's not kickboxing. It's like the Karate Kid from 2010 and it's kung fu. It's not karate. Uh, the film, yeah, like I said, it has its flaws. There's some slow spots. The violence, like I said, it's not too violent. Um, the villain doesn't leave much of an impression on me. He has a cool voice. His minions, this guy with crutches like this, he looks like Freddy from Shazam, he's nothing in the movie. You got this guy that looks like Christopher McDonald and Tim Curry. He's from South Africa. He leaves no impression. The other goons in the movie, the guys are like, "Oh, there's a dress code. You have to wear a tux," and then they get kicked at once, and then they're done. And I'm like, yeah, that was kind of weak. But the rest of the film is fine. Like, I don't hate the film. I never hated the film. It's decent. It ends the way you expect it. He goes to South Africa to avenge his friend's death. He gets his belt back. He goes back to America with his friends, and then the movie's over. So it's not really a lot to say. It's decent. It's a film that you can watch it. I mean, it's better than whatever. And I'm not reviewing the other Kickboxer movies. After this, I'm done. I'm not reviewing Vengeance or any of the other ones that came out in this decade because I'm like, I have no interest. I'm not wasting my time. I wanted to review this one to get it out of the way. So it's a decent film. That's all I can say. This is the poster. This is pretty cool with Martha Coscos. This is in the movie. He would have been an awesome Liu Kang or Johnny Cage in the Mortal Kombat movie, which came out the same year as this, and I think it's better, mainly because it's got some effects in it. It's got a bigger budget. The fights are way more intense. It's not as violent as the game, but still, I prefer it over this movie. But this is not a terrible movie. It's Dacascos has a lot of charm. It's a lot better than the Double Dragon movie he did a year before this. It's way better than that. That's like a really bad cartoon, but here it's fine, but it's not as violent as I wanted it to be. Because if it's R, this should go all the way, whether you have the big budget or not. It felt like a PM Entertainment movie, but just with less violence. Who distributed this? Vidmark. Oh yeah, Trimark. They're not even around anymore. That company, they they ended in 2001, March 2001, 18 years ago. They did other films too. They did Going Overboard, High Stakes, Kickboxer 2, theatrical release only. Servants of Twilight, Dolly Dearest, the first Leprechaun movie. So yeah, there's some movies they're hit and miss, but they're not as bad as other companies, especially now that they do horrible franchises that should have never been made. But this is not a horrible franchise. It has its ups and downs. The best one is still the first one with Van Damme because that's a classic. And I like the second one, even though they should not have killed off Van Damme's character. The three and four, they have their moments, and this one is decent. So that's all I can say about Kickboxer 5, the redemption. At least the redemption part really makes sense. But thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next female driven movie review. Later.